What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and in this video I want to do a bit of speculation and talk about the theories surrounding the Rise of Iron, which is the leaked expansion. I've made videos in the past talking about all the info we know so far, so the rumours and stuff like that. I want to make a video just on speculation and talk about all the possibilities of the Rise of Iron. There's a lot of info you can actually draw from the original leaked image if you look a bit closer, so don't take anything I say in this video as fact. Of course, this is just my speculation, but I would guarantee at least a few of these things will probably come true. There's quite a lot of evidence supporting them. So the first theory is that the guy on the cover might not even be Lord Saladin. And you're probably thinking, how could it not be Saladin? It looks exactly like him. It's obviously him. Well, as it turns out, Saladin is not the only one who wears armor like this. You might have seen this rare warlock artifact called Segoth's Head, and it's literally what it says, Segoth's Head. This is an Iron Lord or an Iron Wolf. I don't know exactly who Segoth was, but this guy clearly wears the exact same armor as Saladin. I think this kind of evidence there are more people who wear the exact same armor as Saladin, so it's very possible that the guy on the cover of Rise of Iron is a different Iron Wolf or Iron Lord, and it could be someone else entirely. If you look at the description of the artifact, it says, "Thought we formed the Iron Banner to fight the darkness, not ourselves. Just don't bode well," is all I'm saying, and that is Gelion. I'm sure you've seen the Mantle of Gelion, which is a hunter cloak, and Gelion himself was a hunter. And there's also a weapon you might remember from the old Year 1 Iron Banner called Gelion's Demise, which is a scout rifle. So whoever they were, it definitely seems like there was some kind of conflict between the Iron Lords, and it forced Gelion to perhaps kill Segoth. But all we know so far is that there definitely was another Titan who existed who wore the exact same armor as Lord Saladin, and he was Segoth. So perhaps this is standard Titan armor, and maybe all the Iron Lords that are Titans wear this exact same armor and have these helmets. That definitely would explain a lot. But right now it's not confirmed that this guy in the front is actually Lord Saladin. So another theory is actually the identity of this man, and we could possibly have a clue about who the guy on the cover could be, and that is called Rezyl Azzir. I'm sure it's a name you've heard of before in Ghost Fragments and also a bunch of lore around Destiny, but essentially he was a very, very heroic Titan. I won't go completely in depth into his story, but he was a very interesting person and is said to be one of the first ever Titans, and also might have performed the first ever Fist of Havoc on a bunch of Fallen. He was a very, very heroic and courageous Titan that did a lot of work against the Fallen, and no one knows where he is. He seemed to have disappeared, so it's possible that he might have come back now and is going to help us fight even more Fallen, because he's not confirmed to be dead. We don't know where he is and what he's doing, but he seemed to have disappeared for a while, so it's possible this could be him and he's come back. Maybe the House of Kings have come to attack us and he is actually going to step in and actually help us. It would make a lot of sense, maybe like the Era's character, where he knows a lot about them. Maybe he's been living with them for a while, studying them, and maybe now he's going to help us fight the Fallen once again, like he used to a lot in the past. Now, there are two main things that suggest this could be Rezyl Azzir and why he's such a prominent character, why he could be the face of the next expansion. The first thing is actually his description. In the actual Grimoire cards, Rezyl Azzir is described to have his collar lined with fur and teeth, and he had gold etched plating with trophies on his shoulders. Now that seems exactly the same description as what we can see on the cover, a guardian with gold etched plating as his armor, and also a collar lined with fur and teeth. The main thing being there is fur. This guy in the front is wearing a fur cloak, which is very interesting. Titans do not ever wear cloaks, but this guy is. He's wearing a fur cloak, probably a wolf cloak or something similar to that. But he is wearing a cloak, which is the exact same description as Rezyl Azzir, and also gold plating. Like I've said, it seems like there are numerous either Iron Lords or Iron Wolves that did wear this exact gold-plated armor, but I think it's very likely that also this guy could be Rezyl Azzir, simply because the fur cloak, and like I said, Titans don't ever wear cloaks, that is reserved for hunters, so it seems to match up with this Rezyl Azzir description of a guy who did wear fur on his shoulders and also had gold-etched plating. Now, the second reason I think Rezyl Azzir is also quite likely to be this main character is because simply he's been teased a lot by Bungie, and it's the exact same pattern that they normally do with their expansions. Bungie, of course, always lead a trail to what they're doing next, and they always give subtle hints, in the Grimoire especially, and the Ghost Fragments found around the world, as to what they're doing next and what the enemy might be that you're facing next. Now, Rezyl Azzir is someone that popped up a lot towards the end of the Taken King, and is in the Ghost Fragments that we found in the April update. He was a name that popped up repeatedly. I don't think anyone paid too much attention to him, but it does definitely match up. This guy Rezyl Azzir has been popping up in a lot of Grimoire cards recently in the past couple months, and also there's a guy who seems to match the description on a cover of the leaked expansion. They did a very similar thing with Malok. Of course, he was the main boss and the main enemy of the April update, and they led this breadcrumb trail of ghost shells in the exact same fashion, and in fact one of the ghost shells was Rezyl Azzir. There are a bunch of ghost shells that described Malok and hinted towards him in the actual same area in the summoning pits where we fought the strike, and they led in the same pattern as you do from the summoning pits down to the Shrine of Oryx. So that was Bungie's way of hinting that Malok would be a threat and suggesting that he would be our next enemy, and it's a similar fashion they're doing to Rezyl Azzir. He's definitely a prominent character, and maybe he won't be the main character, but perhaps he'll be some kind of advisor and he will be a theme in the Rise of Iron. But I'm thinking Rezyl Azzir is likely to be a character involved with the Rise of Iron, if not the main character. Now, if you move off of the character and look at the thing he's holding a flaming battle axe. This thing looks incredible, and there's a lot of speculation as to what this thing is, how you get it, and are we going to be playing with the thing. So the first theory, of course, which is I think is most likely personally, is that this is an exotic heavy weapon. I think this is definitely the most likely. We've got exotic swords as a brand new kind of melee weapon in the game. I think they were very, very successful. Exotic swords are probably my favorite thing they added in the Taken King, and I think it's very likely that Bungie would want to add to the arsenal and add even more melee weapons like an exotic battle axe, which looks like this. And I think it's quite likely it flames the exact same way that the Rezyl does, and possibly this could be an exotic heavy weapon. Now, it's also a possibility this could be a new Titan subclass. This could also be a super for a brand new subclass that maybe lets you hold a flaming battle axe similar to the flaming hammers. That's also a possibility. Another one is that this could be a relic similar to the Scorch Cannon or the Sword of Crota. The same way in the House of Wolves and the Dark Below, the Sword of Crota was a relic that you could pick up in Patrol and also use it in the raid. And the Scorch Cannon was something, again, you could use it in Patrol for the Wolves event and also in the Prison of Elders. That was like a relic. So a possibility is that this is also a relic similar to that. Whatever this weapon could be, I definitely want to get my hands in it, and I think it's going to be very interesting for the gameplay if we do actually get a weapon like this. Now, my final theory is to do with Saladin and the possibility that if he is the actual cover art, or if Saladin is in any way involved with the Rise of Iron, which I think he's very likely to be, then possibly we get a new area open in the tower. I'm thinking that if Saladin is the new vendor for this expansion, and we're going to him to pick up quests and get new stories and weapons and stuff like that, if we're mainly dealing with Saladin, then of course we're going to deal with him in the same area, and that would mean they would permanently open that big area where the Iron Banner normally is. So maybe they'll open up and add more vendors there, and that could be a brand new space for us, kind of expansion to the tower. Probably not that likely, because I don't know what we would do when Iron Banner does turn up, and we need to go to Saladin to pick up our stuff. But it's something pretty cool that I thought of, and it would be awesome if it did actually turn out that we did get a new area open the tower. If they open one of the doors and there are more vendors in there, they give us quests for the Rise of Iron. So that has been my speculation and theories about this expansion and things that I think would be awesome. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about everything I've said, your theories and speculation. I want to see it and read all your comments. Drop a like rating on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.